This is QTV News and I'm Mamadou Gajika. Thank you for joining us. But first, we look at the main local news headlines. Residents of the border villages of Kappa and Balen on Monday deserted their villages following a clash of gunfire between the Senegalese army and the MFDC separatist fighters in Casamance. A two-day judicial forum on international justice, best practices and comparative experiences was organized on Tuesday by the Judiciary of the Gambia and partners. The Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, GCCPC, today joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Consumer Rights Day to raise awareness on consumer rights and needs. First Lady Fatoumata Barrow, through her foundation on Tuesday, presented 500 cartons of assorted food items to the Christian Council for the Christian community in observance of the holy month of Lent. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us. This is QTV News. First, we begin with a press release. The Secretary General and Party Leader of the National People's Party, His Excellency Adama Barrow, will embark on a nationwide tour from Monday 19th of March to the 31st, 2022. The tour will give the President the opportunity to thank the people for the trust and confidence they showed in voting for him for a second term in the December 4th presidential election. The President would also use the occasion to ask voters to cast their ballot for NPP and partner party candidates in the April 9th National Assembly elections, ends the press release. Residents of the border villages of Kappa and Balen on Monday deserted their villages following a clash of gunfire between the Senegalese army and the MFDC separatist fighters in Casamance. QTV's Antumana Esonyasi visited Foni on Monday and filed in this special report.
The last time these communities experienced conflict was in January, following an exchange of gunfire between economic Senegalese forces and separatist fighters in Casamance. 3 Senegalese soldiers were killed and 7 held hostage. The Senegalese claimed that they had killed 1 separatist fighter, but that was denied by the separatists. Residents here who enjoyed some relative calm for the past weeks Monday woke up to the reality of having to desert their homes once more. Loud sounds of shelling from the Balen end of the border rang through their homes. Many are still in shock and struggling to come to terms with what is happening in their once relatively peaceful communities. Scores of residents from the border villages of Kappa and Balen ran for safety to Campant, where they were received with open arms. The impact of Monday's selling could be seen everywhere right on the outskirts of Campant. Farms and what were once thick bushes where animals grazed all burnt to ashes. As is often the case, civilians in conflict situations paid dearly for what they had no hand in starting. Here, the accidents of geography have brought close to home a supposedly foreign conflict. Modufal Bojang, the Alcalo of Campant, expresses shock, fear and disbelief. Since 2 p.m. yesterday, we had gunfire and loud explosions. We wondered what was going on, not knowing where to go or what to do. Moments later, we saw people running towards us. These are people from Balen, Kappa and surrounding villages. And then we saw the Senegalese military plane flying on low altitude. It was scary. Since Monday morning, we can't sleep. We are asking for help. Refugees and the internally displaced really need help. Musa Bojang, a resident of the border village of Balen, is one of many people who fled their villages. He tells QTV that their farms have all been consumed by the fire as a result of the selling. We are begging the government to please help us. We have nowhere to stay and we do not have food. Our livelihoods have all been destroyed. We feel helpless and neglected. Since yesterday, they have been selling non-stop and their military plane continues to bombard areas very close to our homes. Alassana Baji, a youth leader from Foni Bondali, led us to the scene where some of the shells landed in the village of Balen. The impact and fragments of these deadly aerial weapons could be seen everywhere. Since yesterday, all the neighboring villages have been deserted. We are dealing with a very sad and scary situation. Foni is like a battleground now. We have been using motorbikes to evacuate people from danger. They are firing indiscriminately, and that's dangerous because you never know where it will land. So I want to urge government to talk to their Senegalese counterparts. If they want to fight the separatists, they can do that in their own territory. Like in Kappa, we found only the village head in Balen, with their villages deserted, farms and nearby buses all burnt, and their animals all gone. These men, who are visibly distraught by the ongoing conflict, are all alone, except for the loud sounds and thick clouds of smoke from the ceiling. Their only source of hope, some of them say, is the Gambian soldiers, who have intensified their patrols in the area under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Omar Bojang, commander of the Quick Reaction Force in Kanilai. On our way to Kanilai, just around the Kanfenda roundabout, we heard another explosion, this time on the former president's farm. Within minutes, dark clouds formed in the sky, and most of the trees along the highway caught fire. Senegalese soldiers stationed just on the outskirts of Kanilai also arrived at the scene. Such scenes could be seen in several places along the border. The Gambia government Monday issued a statement confirming reports of ongoing conflict between Senegalese forces and the separatists, and went on to give assurances that the internally displaced would be supported. But until we left Kanilai last evening, we could sporadically hear sounds of shelling, and the internally displaced say they are yet to receive any support. Antoine Nyasi for QTV News.
A two-day judicial forum on international justice, best practices and comparative experiences was organized on Tuesday by the Judiciary of the Gambia in partnership with the American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative and Global Initiative for Justice, Truth and Reconciliation. Omar Pijalo reports.
The objective of the forum is to enhance the capacity of the Gambian judiciary to fulfill its expected role of pursuing international justice and providing redress for crimes committed during the previous regime, as the government is expected to deliver on the recommendations of the TRRC report. The Chief Justice of the Gambia, Hassan B. Jallo, says it will avail the Gambia judiciary the opportunity to tap from experiences of the countries or jurisdictions that have gone through similar transition or post-transition processes and employ various justice models to achieve similar goals.
The clear mandate emanating from the TRRC report has heightened public expectations on the delivery of justice from the judiciary, and this colloquium will hopefully provide a platform for interaction between members of the bench and international regional experts, but also between members of the bench, amongst members of the bench themselves, as it aims to be a peer-to-peer exchange forum. The Gambian judiciary has played a crucial role in upholding the fundamental rights of citizens as enshrined in the Constitution and in other regional and international instruments and mechanisms to which the Gambia is a party.
Dauda A. Jallo, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, reveals that the government of the Gambia is actively working on producing a white paper which will contain the government position on the implementation of the TRRC recommendations, adding that the government is also committed towards ensuring the victims of human rights violations during the former regime not only get justice but are also adequately compensated, and ensure that necessary legislative and institutional reforms are carried out to ensure non-reoccurrence.
The government of the Gambia, in a bid to domesticate the Rome Statute, drafted and tabled before the National Assembly the International Crimes Bill, which will form part of the bills that the 6th Legislature will consider and pass in due course. As part of our commitment to ensure non-recurrence of past human rights violations, the government has taken major steps and is still taking concrete steps to ensure that the right institutional and legal frameworks are put in place. This can be seen through the establishment of the National Human Rights Commission, the passage of the Access to Information Act, and a host of other bills already before the National Assembly, including the Anti-Corruption Bill, the Prevention of Torture Bill, which seeks to domesticate the Convention Against Torture and other inhuman and degrading treatments.
Ilisi Sindaigaya, The American Bar Association Chief of Party has this to say.
The judiciary, as guardian of the fundamental rights, has the role of contributing to the consolidation of accountability and justice delivery for human rights victims in the Gambia. Therefore, the judiciary and the entire justice sector needs to be positioned and supported appropriately so that it can contribute positively to the achievement of these objectives.
At the end of the 2 days forum, participants are expected to draft a document which will serve as a resource tool for Gambian judiciary on the application of the international justice in domestic courts and related topics. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
The Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, GCCPC, today joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Consumer Rights Day. The day is observed on March 15 to raise awareness on consumer rights and needs. Foni attended the event and he now reports.
The event brought together consumer associations, businesses, civil society, and decision makers to discuss and come up with solutions to make digital financial products and services more consumer-oriented. Abdul Koli, the chairman of the GCCPC, says the rise of the digital economy has raised unique consumer protection issues and opportunities. He further explains how to promote and enforce the adoption of fair business during consumers' digital transactions.
What we need is a consumer protection framework that promotes and enforces the adoption of fair business practices through the entire life cycle of consumers' digital transactions. This includes prohibiting any deceptive, fraudulent, or unfair representations throughout the process. This cannot be achieved without strong and effective collaboration between government authorities and its partners, as there is a need to coordinate activities in the promotion and protection of consumer welfare.
The GCCPC chairman also disclosed that in 2016, his commission conducted a study on the banking industry, which revealed an existence of tight agreements, delays in real-time gross settlement system, high unexplained service charges, unjustified switching costs, which necessitated the need to develop a consumer protection guidelines for the financial sector. Fatuddin Toure, the Director of Development Finance Department of the Central Bank of the Gambia, explains our institution drive to accelerate the growth of fair digital finance in the financial system.
The Central Bank of the Gambia will uptake its role in the implementation of an enabling regulatory framework that is future-proof, manages risks, and puts the consumer at the heart of a new digital economy. This will not only accelerate the growth of fair digital finance, but will create the mechanisms in dealing collectively with risks that digital financial services pose to consumers and the financial system in general.
Sidi Keita, the Minister of Trade, while giving his keynote statement, says the government of the Gambia is making efforts to adequately protect consumers and to create a conducive environment for business and investment.
The government is currently working on data protection and privacy bill with a view to safeguarding consumer data collected by financial service providers. The government, through the Central Bank, is also collaborating with the United Nations Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, to finalize the National Financial Inclusion Strategy in order to create a financial system that promotes inclusive economic growth and empowerment of all consumers.
The Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection Commission was established in 2009 to promote and maintain competition by curbing anti-competitive practices and to protect consumers from unfair and misleading market practices. Reporting for QTV News, I am Foni.
Now time for a short commercial break, and when we return, we still have some more local and sports news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Money, the biggest mobile money service in the Gambia, has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply. Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is QTV News, and we welcome our listeners also on Q Radio. First Lady Fatoumata Barrow, through her foundation, on Tuesday presented 500 cartons of assorted food items to the Christian Council for the Christian community in observance of the holy month of Lent, a period of fasting. Elusise reports.
This is the latest humanitarian gesture from the First Lady, meant to give back to the underprivileged. Leading a delegation from the Gambian Christian Council to receive the food items at the State House, Bishop James Allen Yaud Odiko, chairman of the Gambian Christian Council, expressed appreciation for the gesture from the First Lady. He praised her for always remembering the Gambian Christian community, especially during this period of Lent, noting that the food support will be very useful to the underprivileged.
We are not discriminating against anyone. We have pulled the whole nation as well. All of us, and that is what makes Gambia unique. That's why we are different from other nations. Because we love each other. We look after the interests of each other. We support each other and build each other.
Lamin Kesedi, Program Manager at the First Ladies Foundation, explains that the Fatoumata Barrow Foundation, known as FAP, is a charitable, non-political, profit and religious organization established in 2017 to support the underprivileged and marginalized groups in society.
We know this may not be enough for the people that we are going to give it to, but we hope that they will appreciate, as Bishop said, and in a little way, it will contribute to really easing the cost on them for that day or week that they will be utilizing the service. We are looking forward to doing more of this in the coming years. Her Excellency is conscious of the fact that, as Bishop said, that she is the mother of the nation. And as a mother of the nation, you are supposed to embrace every member of your family, irrespective of their political affiliation, irrespective of their religion. This is what she stood for. When she gives out, when the foundation gives out, we don't question faith, we don't question political affiliation. What matters is who is in need.
For her part, First Lady Fatoumata Barrow, while wishing the Christian community a blessed month of Lent, gave assurances of her continued support.
This assorted food items that were given to you was given to us by a brother from Egypt. And we believe it's for the Gambians, not for any religion. We're just giving you part of that because Gambia is what he said. He said it's for the Gambians. And we're keeping it for the Ramadan. We're also starting a month after yours. April 2nd, we also start Ramadan. And I said, okay, we're in Lent. We have to share with them because we believe that the more you share, the more you get.
These 500 cartons of assorted food items will provide relief to many who are struggling to provide meals for their families during this Lent period. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The mayor and the CEO of Banjul City Council on Saturday urged the people of Banjul to remain united and continue supporting Council's development agenda. They were speaking at the Council's third EU-funded town hall meeting, held in Banjul Central. Ansmane Sonyasi has more.
Reacting to some of the questions, both Mayor Rahim Malik Low and CEO Mustafa Bacheli stressed the importance of unity and commitment to duty, urging Banjulians to take ownership of Council's development projects. They also called on residents who may have wanted clarification regarding Council projects or need support such as scholarships as well as development concerns to reach out to Council, and went on to chronicle development projects implemented by Council in the past 4 years.
dañ njëkk a seet ne Council am na ay ghost workers yu fa nekk ñu address loolu.
Banjul City Council has also spearheaded several reform programs, such as the removal of ghost workers. And we have supported many council staff through capacity building programs and Banjulians needing overseas medical treatment. So we remain committed to serving you.
Addressing allegations of corruption and selective implementation of council projects, CEO Mustafa Bacheli urged Banjulians who want clarity regarding any council project to visit council and raise their concerns. The council, he says, remains committed to meeting their development needs. Anybody who wants clarification or any information regarding council's work, you are welcome. We will happily give you all the information you need. I have worked under several mayors, but I have to say that despite being a woman and all the unfair criticism she gets sometimes, she is by far the best I have worked with. It is easy to make allegations. I urge everyone to work together to stay united and prioritize the interests of the city. Meanwhile, Mayor Rahim Malik Low thanked the people of Banjul Central for their continuous support to her administration and reiterated her unwavering commitment to addressing their development needs. The event is organized in fulfillment of the Local Government Act, which requires elected local government authorities such as the mayor to at least once each year meet with constituents to dialogue and assess the progress as well as impact of council's development projects. Saturday's event was supported by the EU-funded Austin Banjul City Link project under its good governance component, which seeks to strengthen council's governance structure. Similar meetings are expected to be held in other parts of the city in the coming weeks. Ansumane Sonyasi for KTV News.
With that report by Ansumane Sonyasi takes us to sports news. As part of its policy to improve sports, Action Aid the Gambia is supporting Kudang Youth and Sports Association by developing the village football field. As Jennifer Sanko reports, the new development is expected to encourage young people in Kudang and neighboring villages to take sports as a career option.
Playing on the sandy and dusty streets of Kudang, these young people are now looking forward to playing in a better place. This 200-meter square land is allocated to the Youth and Sports Association of Kudang with a sum of $580,000 for the fencing and development of the field. During football tournaments, both the association and neighboring villages use the Kudang Senior Secondary School football field. Through the same project, ActionAid has also supported lower, upper and senior schools in Kudang with cash to improve sports education. We engaged ActionAid Director Omar Baji on the project, and according to him, combating irregular migration is one of the main objectives of the project.
We are doing it in order to really halt this migration that is going on. We hope this will contribute to that. Because if we don't manage migration very well, we'll end up losing all the youths of this country, and development cannot go forward. You know, if you have a child who is in Europe or in Americas, send you money to build a house. If the youths are not there, that house cannot be built.
Sheriff Abasanyang, the governor of CRR, welcomes the project and spoke about sustainability.
That really starts from the planning stage. You know, if you don't plan properly, definitely you will lead to a failure. That means if you fail to plan, definitely you will fail. And I believe people need to know their needs. What we need as a people. If we know that, then we'll be able to use maximally whatever we have. Now, skill centers, yes, it's a general need. It's a need across the country. But now you must plan the type of people who are to attend that, the type of skills you need to provide. It must be within the needs of the environment that it is existing within. I think if we look at that component of our development, then we will definitely proceed.
Suleiman Tunkara, the president of the Kudang Youth and Sports Association, says he is glad that ActionAid also provided support to schools, which will improve grassroots sports.
Building this football field will definitely help the youths, the grassroots, to help themselves in order to become professional when it comes to football. And also it will also help them, it will all help us to be, to understand each other, we know each other, and it will also give us health, you know. So it will make us unite as well.
ActionAid is an international non-governmental organization whose stated primary aim is to work against poverty and injustice worldwide. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Bosonko.
Now, before we end this news bulletin, here is a recap of the main news headlines. The Secretary General and party leader of the National People's Party, His Excellency Adama Barrow, will embark on a nationwide tour from 19th to the 31st of March 2022. The tour will give the President the opportunity to thank the people for the trust and confidence they showed in voting for him for a second term in the December 4th presidential election. He would also use the occasion to ask voters to cast their ballot for NPP and partner party candidates in the April 9th National Assembly elections. Residents of the border villages of Kappa and Balen on Monday deserted their villages following a clash of gunfire between the Senegalese army and the MFDC separatist fighters in Casamance. A two-day judicial forum on international justice, best practices and comparative experiences was organized on Tuesday by the Judiciary of the Gambia and partners. The Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, GCCPC, today joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Consumer Rights Day to raise awareness on consumer rights and needs. First Lady Fatouba Barrow, through her foundation on Tuesday, presented 500 cartons of assorted food items to the Christian Council for the Christian community in observance of the holy month of Lent. That's all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Join us again at 10 for another bulletin.